Welcome to the November 13th, 2025 Library Board of Trustees meeting. I think we're going to go out a little bit out of order and just start straight away with Barbara Friedman. Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Barbara. So we're just going to ask you a few questions today. As you know, we're working on a 5-year strategic plan. So why don't we go around and introduce ourselves, I guess?
Okay, Sarah Donovan, I'm a trustee. David Spanigal, I'm a trustee.
Stephanie Kraft, I'm a trustee.
Hi, Kimberly Harriman, trustee and chair.
And Katrina Hagberg, also a trustee.
So you guys have questions for her, or what did you want to know in particular?
I was not here last time, so don't ask me.
So can you just talk to us about the process that you normally go through with strategic plans and libraries?
Yeah.
Or maybe talk about yourself as well. Sorry.
Sure. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Yes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Good. So usually when I start a plan, I would like to meet with your trustees and you, Sam. So I would sit down and we would talk about really what you want out of your library, and also do kind of a SOAR exercise, the strengths, opportunities, that kind of thing that everybody does. I don't use that format for the focus groups though. What I'd like to do is get some really good input from you first, spend maybe up to 90 minutes with you in a meeting. And then I create a PowerPoint or Google Meet, some type of slide presentation based on your library. So it's very specific to your library. And that has between 10 and 12 questions in it. And those questions are things that you've already approved. You want to see what the people out there respond to them. So each session is 90 minutes for a focus group. I have this, I'm not sure, did I share this with you, Sam? My just basic outline of how I do this, because I'm just repeating exactly what's on that sheet.
We have an outline of.
Did you receive? Yeah. Okay. So then I'm asking the director to get a really good diverse group of participants in two focus groups, at least two focus groups. Sometimes people do more, but I think two focus groups gives you enough. So I'd like to see people from the town hall. I'd like to see people that are friends of the library, participants, somebody who really puts a lot of time into it. I'd like to see people that are senior citizens, parents, teenagers, if you can get them at the right time. I'd like to see one focus group be in the morning to attract people that have morning hours, and one in the evening, so that we can get a team and the working people out. So the ideal focus group for me is 12 people. And so that would be 24 people altogether that you would be getting a lot of really good responses. I don't allow a trustee can join either one of those groups if you want to, but I absolutely will not allow Sam to be there. So we want people to be frank. We want people to say, in my experience, except for, and I've been doing this since 2004, In my experience, it's been highly positive towards directors. There's only one director that in all my years that wasn't. But sometimes it's a, it's the little things that people bring up that can really improve customer service. Sometimes we don't realize what we're doing, as we run libraries, and I've run a few. So I was the director in Westminster, the assistant director in Lunenburg, and the director most recently in Irving, where we built a new library. So that opened 5 years ago, and as soon as we opened up, COVID came, and I was ready to retire anyway. So I have not been actively working in a library for 5 years, but my other clients have been Clinton and Montague, who are both received the grants to go ahead with building programs. And I've worked with Rutland and Orange, and I'm working from the beginning stages with a librarian in Rhode Island. So those are my clients for the last 5 years. Oh, and Lunenburg during COVID. So Lunenburg has their strategic plan online, so you can see what we did. And it's a nice strategic plan, and they're almost 5 years in now. I'm very connected to Lunenburg, even though it's been many, many years since I've worked there. So what I like to do after we get all the focus groups done, I put together the report with every single response. And then we look at realistically, what can you do in 5 years? Now you have a brand new library. So this is the exciting part, because you don't have to worry about fundraising for furniture or do all those things that you've had to do in the past. These are the exciting years. And I had the pleasure of being the librarian in Westminster just as we opened, and had some really great years there doing programming and all kinds of different things. So you're looking for things that you can do to utilize that new space that you've created, and that's really really an exciting time that you can try some things. I haven't been in your library yet, and I apologize for not stepping in and taking a look around, but I would before we started any of these groups, if you do choose to hire me. And that report becomes basically your strategic plan with your input. Again, I need, once you look at what the people of your town are saying, we need to see realistically what you can do in 5 years. There'll be things that people will say that, you just don't think are universally desired, or you just don't have the staff to do them, or, for different reasons. So you might narrow those wants down a little bit. That the MBLC wants an action plan. So before we part, we need to have a plan for the next fiscal year. So that's how this goes. When was the last plan that you did?
So we're currently in year 4 of our current plan. So the last one was 4 years ago. So we're just working on the one for when this one ends.
Okay.
Yeah. And I spoke to MBLC, and I spoke to some consultants from MBLC, and they've said that because of the financial situation in the world, they're not sure if they're even going to be requiring strategic plans. But so what we're doing is just to give ourselves goals, really. it will submit it to MBLC, but it's more for us than it is for them, basically.
Yeah, I think I expect it to turn around. I mean, maybe not this year, but or next year, but eventually it will turn around. And having that plan there is great. Usually, what one of the goals that people set is to do an LSTA grant, based on your desires, and those are always easy to get if the money's there. And unfortunately, we're in a strange time because I have applied for LST grants for the last 30 years and gotten them easily. Everything from STEAM to or STEM, depending on what you're calling it. And way back when, archival preservation grants and things like that. So they'll be back. It's a good system. It's just a weird time. So
Yeah, we got one about 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It was for access for all. So we got some technologies to help with the hearing impaired and the vision impaired people. So
Irving was extremely successful getting many grant every year. I know even small libraries can get them because Irving is much smaller than you. So give me some idea of how you're feeling about the library now. Just 2 minutes. Give me a feel for your library.
Months ago.
It's a great library. I'm new to Littleton, but I was a trustee in Lancaster for 6 years. And that's a great library. And these libraries are totally different from each other. So,
they are. Joe, I've actually done a strategic plan for Joe, and Joe's a great director, and he's been around a long time. But you have a nice new young director who will be there for quite a long time. So yeah,
I've been here 11 years now.
That's my first impression. Anyway,
I would say the librarians really bring this place to life. We have the specialty librarians for teen and for young adults and for children's, and they're amazing. But really, any of the librarians here, they just make you feel really welcome. You can really get to know them. It's not the kind of library where you walk in and you have to be quiet, right? You just come in and it's just an extension of where you belong.
Yeah, that the third place is, I love that term where you've got home, you've got work or school, and you've got that third place where you can really feel comfortable. That's wonderful.
From like a younger kid's perspective, which I know I'm not part of, but my own kids, they have been so enthusiastic about the library from like ages 2 to they're preteen, and I know that teenagers as well. So I think the kids think of it as that their place or a huge part of the community.
Well, and beyond that, I think people working remotely or whatever love coming here as their third place, to their second office, if you will, coming and knowing that there are resources with meeting rooms or study rooms where that can be their home, their office away from the office, just as much as a place to be just with friends or meeting people. I know the kids walking up every day after school, and that was one of the reasons to keep the library here when we built it here. And then adding a YA librarian to help support them was, I think, the right call. But now the next plan is, that's what I just want to make sure we have plans to know which direction we're going and where we want to build from. We have a beautiful library. We need to use it well.
Yeah. And secure funding locally, because this is the time to really look at your support from your advisory board and your selectmen and the people that make the town what it is. So involving them somehow is really important. That's always one of the questions I ask in a focus group, because I want to see who you can lean on and who you can get involved that maybe you haven't done before. The more people that support the libraries, better off those town meetings go. So yeah, get everybody to raise those hands. Yeah, who did we miss? Did everybody say something?
I love the new library. I love all the open space. And it just is always busy with, kids on the bottom floor, which is where the children's room and the YA room is. And upstairs, there's just, there's meeting rooms, which are great, but there's also open space if you just want to sit and read a book or sit and, work on your computer. And so, yeah, I love the open space, which I love the old library, but the old library was not as big and it wasn't as open. It didn't have the space.
You find people, of course, there's a nostalgia about the old library, but once the new library comes, people are willing to give it up. Yeah. Did that the older library become something else? Or did it?
Sort of. Park and Rec took it over for a couple of years, but then they got a new building not a new building. They took over another building in town. And so now the town is sort of, it's really just town hall and that. So it was it's an old school that was divided into 3 separate parts. It used to be the library, town hall, and then the senior center. The senior center just got their own building like 6 months ago across the street from us. And then Park and Rec moved down the street. And so now it's just town hall in there. So they're trying to figure out how they can move around and take over maybe the library space, or maybe just move out altogether and build a new town hall. So that's still in the works.
Yeah. To do these things, together. I know when I lived in Westminster, there was 7 projects in 7 years. And one after the other. But it was a time when they just happened to have money. So, depends on, the finances besides everything.
Yeah, Littleton just voted on a new elementary school at the last special town meeting. And then last year we got the senior center.
And the former Indian Hill building.
And where Park and Rec moved. I think a year or 2 before that was us, basically. So it's been a lot of stuff going on.
And before that was the turf field.
Yeah, before that was the turf field.
Yeah. So you're on a roll, and it's
say that.
nice to see new things. Yeah.
That said, we want the library to still make people happy. So when we do need budget, they'll vote for it.
Right.
Yeah. That is great. Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about money at all?
I think we got your quote, so I think we're good with that.
Okay.
Are there any other expenses beyond what's in the quote?
No, everything else, any incidentals I pick up, and I always provide refreshments and things like that, because the more sugar I put into people, the more they talk.
Okay.
So
That is true.
If there
get people there with food.
Well, if there are no more questions from anyone, does anybody else have any other questions?
I just had a couple.
Yeah, sure.
So, one is, it sounds like you've worked at libraries that are on this, well, I don't know if the library's on the smaller size, but the communities are on the smaller size. And we are kind of, I would think, in between like a Westminster and stuff that's east of us. But we probably deal with some similar issues. And I was just wondering if you also kind of bring to us any suggestions that you've learned from other libraries, any themes or topics that we may not have thought of. I don't mean today, right? But is that something, do you also kind of bring that?
What is the population of Littleton now?
It's 10,200.
Just over 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So my background is actually, my background was working in university libraries before I had kids. So I worked for very, very large libraries. And then I worked for Fitchburg, which is much bigger, for 15 years. So I'm, I have a really broad feel for all kinds of libraries. I even worked for a special library for a while after I was deciding what to do when I was in my 60s, whether I wanted to go back to a library or not. So I worked for the tech company, and I worked for a small special library in Uxbridge. And then I did the ultimate, and I did a private library in Weston for a couple that had lots of money, and that was really fun. So my background is, I think I have a really good tech background, so I can make a report look fairly good, and you don't have to worry about those kinds of things. I'm very comfortable with Zoom. I've taught for the Pittsburgh University Alpha program, which is a senior program. I've taught tech for seniors. So if we do need to do anything by Zoom, I've got that down. I also like to make sure that tech is a really important part of the focus group, because you have people that know very little and are striving to understand how their phones work. And then on the other side, you're in an area where you probably have people that are, on the cusp of AI. So, you got to serve a really broad range. You're not a poor town. So, you've got people that are probably, in those executive positions, and they may not use the library regularly, but they still want to find something in the library, and they want to feel that the library is up to date. So we'll look at the technology in addition to, traditional library services.
I
I just have another one, and it has to do with, I think you said that like Sam would be the one that would pick the focus group members. And I guess I wonder, in your experience, how you there's a lot of people in town who have strong opinions about the library, one way or another, and whether or not, how do you include them, but how else you might not include them? How do you find that right group of people where you're actually getting the, like a taste for the whole community, and not just like what a small group really thinks strongly?
Yeah, the ideal is to get people that are non-users. You generally do get non-users if you're getting the people from town hall, and that's just, I don't know why that is, but that is often the case. So you really want to bring in those people from town hall, and then the morning session where they're at work anyway, we'll bring some of those people in, and that is a great idea. I think that I absolutely would like to see the person that that has been the biggest opponent to perhaps the library construction. I'd love to see that person in the focus group. What I found, and this was in Hopkinton when I did this years ago before they had their new library, I just found that it was such a good group, that those people that were really library users were actually teaching the non-library users what libraries were about. So I think that although we don't think of focus groups as, in fact, that's part of my shtick, that it's not a promotional thing, but it is, there's little light bulbs that go on for people that don't use the library if they come to these sessions, and they go, oh, is that how that works? Or, oh, I didn't know you had ebooks that I could get on my phone. Or, I had no idea you had a library of things, all of those, I've been a librarian for a long time, and my daughter is a real good reader, and I just caught her not knowing something that I thought was so basic about her library here in Florida. And I thought, you don't know that? Sometimes we forget to publicize. And so, although, again, focus groups are not a way of, it's not a publicity thing. It's really to get to the meat of why people use it in your town and why people don't use it. So but getting that variety of people, and if you can get 12 people to sit in a room, it's really golden.
Yeah.
And
So
fun.
that,
And fun. I always get, if they walk out and say, well, that was fun, I just feel really good about a focus group.
you gave them enough sugar.
Yeah, that too.
Looking at your proposal, I see there's also week 4 says follow-up interviews, which could include random calls to town residents or distribution of surveys. Can you describe what that is?
Yeah, lots of, it's so easy now to do a Google form survey. So a lot of people are doing that. Years ago, we rarely did that, but why not? If you certainly get, 5 to 8 questions that you'd like the whole town to respond to, putting it out if you have a newsletter, or putting it, at the desk in paper form, or, getting it out. And are you picked up by like the item, that local newspaper, or you're too far away, aren't you?
Yeah, that's Clinton. We're too far.
Too far.
Yeah, too far. That's Clinton, Lancaster, and those others. Yeah. Is there any local newspaper?
Not really.
Not anymore. No, there used to be one, but it went away.
Yeah, I think we find the hard thing about the surveys is that we'll send it through the normal channels of the library's newsletter and the town newsletter. There are other ways we can link it. I think the hard thing is to get them out of the hands of people who are already familiar with the library, to get the other expanded views beyond current library users.
Yeah.
And we can, I don't know, send a trustee to the senior center with it and help them with the tech part or something. I feel like one day we could come up with ideas of how to amplify who we're accessing, but.
And that might be part of the strategic plan.
And that might be part of the strategic plan.
Yeah.
Sometimes we actually get them.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
I'm gonna add that sometimes we do distribute in the right places, and then you hear people after almost indignant, like, I never saw that, or
Yeah.
nobody ever asked me to participate. So it's getting to them, but not like landing with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not just the library problem
Yeah.
too. It's across the board, every problem, but it creates bubbles that we're not breaking out of.
Yes, always an issue. Do you collect? Do the Friends of the Library collect emails and send out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing
Yeah.
directly. Of course, you're only getting the friends then, but at least you can get it to a solid group of people that are on there, and then try to get some of those. You got all of the emails for all of the town people that serve, and remember, you've got all the town employees, you've got all the town departments that are have nothing to do with the library at all, but they're all on your town website. So capturing those kinds of things would probably be a good idea. You can't force them to fill it out, but you can at least put it out there. So.
Anything else?
I'm happy to meet you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for meeting with us.
Yeah. It's
We'll be in
always
touch.
fun. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Okay. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Enjoy your vacation.
Bye. So we don't see anything.
Thank you.
It's my favorite.
Never like to
Like you can leave Kimberly there.
side of me. I don't.
Yeah, so if I see the side of me, I'm
Full
like,
side.
Wow.
it takes me.
I could just realize how gray I've gotten.
It's silver.
Big bitch.
Anyway, she was lovely.
She was.
Okay.
Okay, so moving back to the beginning.
Yeah.
That was reassuring.
Yes.
Can we just couch this of where we were at the last meeting? I wish I wasn't attending. Like
Did we talk about it at the last meeting?
All we said, we were faced with a choice. Do we
Yeah.
go with the
a bit of
platinum
having
version
production.
or the whatever? And I said, can we meet her? Can we meet her?
Yeah.
Because I think On paper, she looked great, and it was useful to be reassured.
And I think it wasn't just the two choices, there was a third choice, like the platinum version,
Yeah.
or don't even do one, but kind of do piecemeal, but I
Yeah.
think we said just having one.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, and then it was, Sam liked the vibe, you liked the vibe of the other people initially.
Yeah, I think they seem more polished,
Yeah.
but that's also their job. Like, well, one of them, that's, yeah.
And then having to put it out to bid when I'm not even ends up with that person anyway.
Right.
True. I mean, I guess given that we don't have to have one right now with MBLC, like,
Yeah.
not sure when and if that will come back, but I think it does give us a path forward
Mhm.
that we can all
That was the
discuss
other-
and agree on.
Last month, the other observation was, we're not on a deadline,
Right.
so to take one more month to sort of
Okay.
weigh whether she could help us out. We had that time to do it.
Yes, and then I guess with no deadline particularly, what would the next steps be if we want to move forward? Is this something we want to talk about now, by
I
the
feel
way?
like we should just finish this conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, so what do you guys want? Do you guys want to decide tonight, or do you want to wait a month and decide, or like, I'm okay going with her. I like her, but it's up to you.
If we're doing one, I like her very much, so it's
Actually, it's
just,
good to do one,
Yeah, me
even though it's not required, it's good to do one, and then if it does become a requirement, we're covered anyway.
Mhm.
I voted last month to like her over the platinum. Well, one thing I like is she's local and she's worked with area libraries, so the other people are not, they're from out of state, so like she knows, maybe not what Littleton is dealing with, but she knows what's going on in other towns around us, and that, we're all part of MBLC, so that's why I liked her, and I think she sounds great, like.
All of our experience of being a director of a library too.
Right.
Yeah, I think the question I was trying to ask was, can you share your experiences with these other libraries where if you're hearing something and we're not saying something that might be important, like, is that something that you might bring up?
Oh, I'm sure. So one of the things she told me is that she's very direct. I don't think she was here like that here because she's, trying to get the job.
Yeah.
But one of the things she told me was that she will be very direct with me. Don't worry. So
and she
yeah.
sort of I don't think she answered your question or understood it in that way, but I think she sort of demonstrated throughout the conversation that she's not afraid to reference like some things. that she's bringing to the community or-
I'm good with it.
I don't need to know more.
Yeah.
As far as that.
Good. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel like having a path forward that we're discussing and gathering data to support will not only help us internally as trustees, will help Sam and direct the staff into the direction we want them to go, but it also helps us, I think, having a strategic plan that we can then share with the select board and the finance committee and all those other things. It just shows that we're doing the job we're here to do as trustees and making sure that we are fulfilling our obligations, but also we have a vision for the library that this is it, and others, of course, that might change over time, depending on the next 5 years, right? But I think without a roadmap, we're not going to go anywhere necessarily different. And I think it's time to have a check-in. And I don't think any of us sitting here, well, David's probably done it for another library, but the last one, somehow my name is on, even though I was not part of that process. It was signed before I was elected. But I think none of us here, except for has been on the last. So I feel like it's time, we have a new board, new faces, and hearing things, especially now that the library's been open for 5 years, 4 years, is important to see, okay, now that we've had a new library, where do we go next? Where are we doing well, or where's the opportunity for future growth?
Is this something we'd like to vote on? Do we vote on it?
Yeah, we would
We're gonna
vote.
hire her.
Yeah, we would vote on hiring her, and then
Where's the money coming from?
and then where's the money coming from?
Do we need to do that part today?
It could probably wait because I still need to get her like an actual invoice and
Right.
Okay.
all that stuff from her, and
Okay.
and then and I doubt she'll want the payment up front.
Should we vote to move forward with?
Yes,
the
we can
agreement?
vote to move forward, and
Someone do that?
I propose that we move forward with a strategic plan and hire Barbara Friedman.
My second.
All in favor? Aye.
okay, I'll
Great.
let her know.
That's exciting. Yeah.
I was taking notes today, by the way.
Oh, I.
Okay. I just realized we
I'm
was
here.
here.
The other really good thing that she volunteered in the conversation is it's not just a measurement instrument.
Mhm.
Like, it's also an opportunity to engage with the community, and so you're actually doing the work.
Yeah.
While you do the plan, you build bridges to people, like, and so choosing not to do it would get us, would deprive us of that opportunity.
So that's what I was gonna say earlier, but you said it much more articulately. I was just gonna say I'm thirsty for that focus group information and it's like a third party can get it better than you can. So even just that part alone is really interesting. I don't know how to put this in the notes. Do you want me to write? I'll just move forward with the street.
And you just have to say who made the motion in a second, and Chris will make it all pretty.
5 years.
What did last thing you
I
said?
said Chris will make it all pretty.
Yeah.
Crystal format first.
I'm working.
Good, thank you.
It's good practice. Excuse me.
All right, going back to correspondence.
Yeah, we actually have something today.
Lovely.
So I received an email from Marguerite Izzo about Jennifer Hamilton, our children's librarian, and she just wanted to sing Jennifer's praises. So I shared that with all of you. She talked about how great she is with her grandkids and how she's always very helpful and that she's just an awesome librarian, which we already knew, but it's
And she was a librarian.
Yeah.
Of course.
I know.
Yeah.
yeah. So she asked me to share that with you, so I'm sure.
She was a trustee and an
Oh, trustee.
educator.
Yeah.
So if anyone knows, it's her
Yeah.
for both of these. It was
job.
wonderful. Jen, we all know it's amazing, but it's nice to hear it from outside of her.
And did Jen get a copy of that?
Yes, I shared it.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
shared it with
I
her.
did, and she was amazed. She was very
She
happy.
put this in her personnel file, just
Yeah.
tuck it
I-
away, because
Listen,
it's a really glowing letter of support for her.
yeah.
Your last month's meeting.
No,
You haven't gotten there yet. It's okay. Public comment.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. Minutes of prior meetings. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from October 9th? Any updates, changes, questions? No? Okay.
I move to approve the minutes from the October 9th, 2025 library trustee.
I'll second that.
So that's Sarah. All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain. He's not
So we're here,
okay.
We look good.
I'm sure, I did listen to the meeting, so it seemed like it was a good reflection, but I can't say that the minutes perfectly reflected.
Treasurer's report.
Treasurer's, that's me.
It's you.
All right. State aid, we have $22,884.17. The gift fund has $41,103.89. MMDT has $29,361.87. Lead has $116,895. The building gift has $36,291.80. MBLC has $686,044. And the Barth has $1,858,813.51, which is stable still.
All right. Anyone have any questions left in the lips? I tried that. Great. We'll go to the Friends report.
So Friends group met on October 15th, which was the day they set up for the book sale. They were all exhausted. Met the office table.
Yeah, behind the room behind the circle in
Oh, yeah.
the cal.
That
Because there was,
room was full of books.
yeah.
Yeah, the room was full of books. So I pushed some tables together.
And they did their annual meeting that they have to do to elect officers, and all of the currently held positions were re-elected for a term. They were allowed to, but Mira Gill was elected recording secretary to fill the vacancy.
Yay, there's a
Mira.
friend. That's amazing.
Sort of like the life cycle.
It is
Yeah.
like a little bit of library
Then,
person.
so they talked about the money for the coffee, plumbing. They talked about the storage trailer purchase. These seem familiar items, but these things were happening on the cusp. The trailer was to be delivered later that week, on so on and so forth. So it was sort of logistics. The book setup was complete. They were sort of ahead of schedule as far as that went. They did a debrief of the staff appreciation lunch. They had a basket raffle among all the members of the Friends of the Library. They just built a Friends basket, and this was how they marked Friends of Libraries Week, which happened beginning on the week end of the book sale and went through the following week. And then I think they did a drawing the following Saturday with nobody here for it. And the lucky winner got the basket, which I'm focusing about the Friends. Yes, something very clever and meta. That was October 25th. They began assigning planning leadership roles for the mini golf event in March. So they have a captain in charge of outreach and fundraising and whatever. So they had like five roles they had to make sure somebody was willing to say that they would make sure it happened. Assigning responsibility. They talked about the upcoming holiday bazaar, December 6th, and that was set up that they're starting to plan and items that they want to have. They talked about the Massachusetts Friends of Libraries annual meeting was going to happen on November 8th at Worcester Public Library, and it I attend that. God, there's so much stuff going. They're decorating a Christmas tree on the trail that happens the day after Thanksgiving, and they were working on how to get a sign for the tree. You all know about these things.
Yes. You're going to have fun finding the trees.
Not last year's one. And something about a Santa letter that we can orchestrate. I don't even understand, but you do. So they seem to have, they're looking 6 months out and then 3 months out and then 1 month out and making sure that all of their people are fully engaged. So again,
How many active members are there? Like who's coming to meetings?
this meeting had 9 people, but Sam and I were 2 of them, so 7 other people.
Who's in charge of membership, do you know?
That's
Megan Rank.
I feel like I'm not getting.
But she didn't happen to be at that meeting where she arrived. Maybe she couldn't come to that.
And so then my mother did go to the Friends of Libraries.
Yeah.
Is the plumbing all done? Is it all?
Well, the plumbing's done, but they are waiting on paint to so that they can patch it. That's why it's still open.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all hooked up. Like if you did coffee now, it'd be getting, wow, that's
Yeah. We're at the problem is the coffee company is giving us a runaround. Apparently it's not doing so well at the senior centers. They're not making as much money over there. So I think they're a little bit afraid to work with us. So Susan is working on it. I know Sarah got Kathy to yell at them. She's very good at that. Kathy was sounding. So she called them, and so they did give us some information about how the prices are going to break down. And so I think the Friends still have to review that at their meeting next week. But it's all set up. We just are waiting for that, and we're waiting for Eric to patch the holes, basically.
The last thing is their next meeting is.
great. Does anyone have any questions about the friendship? Moving on to building updates. Anything break this month?
No.
What?
No.
What right now?
Other than the patches, nothing needs to be done.
I mean, that was an intentional goal.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
It looked like it was nice repairs.
Okay. Director's report?
Yeah.
All right. So we have 2 new staff. Danielle Miller of Harvard started on Monday, November 3rd. She's doing great. She's been here a few times already. She's getting along great with the staff. Cameron Murphy of Groton will start tomorrow. And he's Danielle had some experience working in libraries. She mostly worked at school libraries, but she definitely had experience working there. Cameron's a little new to it, but he's very excited to start, and he's very interested in possibly going to library school in the future. So this is sort of his step, putting his little toe in the water kind of thing. Cameron Murphy.
Cameron.
Yeah. I submitted the FY27 budget that I discussed last time. I did make a few changes. So when I was looking through it again, I found that I made a formula error for one of the staff and payroll. So that actually worked in our benefit. So it came out $5,172 less. And then MVLC decreased the amount they had originally quoted me by $2,300. So in total, I'll be requesting $978,049 or minus $2,898 over what I asked for this current fiscal year. So I met with Jim and the rest of the finance team today, actually, earlier this morning, and they were very happy with me because we're right on target. So I guess compared to other towns, we're doing well.
Sounds like a monopoly figure in your favor.
Yeah.
So it doesn't include the COLA?
No, so COLA is what they add that.
Okay,
And then the town is also working on a compensation classification study.
I guess.
Yes. Well, they've been doing it for years, pretty much since I started. Yesterday was my 11-year anniversary, by the way. So it's been 11 years. Yeah. Yeah. So they finally got back the study from the company they're working with. And right now, HR and the finance department are working and figuring it out how it's going to work financially. So all the payroll numbers I gave you might change. I have no idea yet.
But that's like across the board for the
Yeah, it's for the whole town.
Like it's not a decision we're making only for the employees here.
Right. It's the whole town. So the company, I forgot the name of it, but they basically worked with all of us to come up with new job descriptions. And so now they created reports that they submitted to HR. And they also did a study of how our pay compares to other towns in the area. And so all I know is that he submitted the report, but I don't know what it says yet. And I don't know what the town is going to do with it. But I assume it would come up at the next town meeting if it does.
I'm sure the select board will be talking about it.
Yeah, so that's so finance. That was the FY27 budget. So I believe in January they're going to start doing the meetings with all the department heads. They already have me booked a search room for that. I don't know when I'm going yet, but
I'm supposed to, so we can be there supporting.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's like every Tuesday in January, basically, starting the second week, and then there's Super Saturday where they have the bigger departments. So I'll probably be one of those Tuesdays. I'm not sure which. MVLC has been holding demos via Zoom for new ILS vendors. So the software and the catalog that we use, we're thinking about changing it. We haven't been happy with the vendor we've been using for the last 6 or 7 years now. They're not great. They're not very responsive. So we're basically doing demos now, and there's a steering committee that MVLC is working on to figure out if we are going to change and what that will mean. So yeah, just making you aware.
Do you have a timeline for decisions on
It's
this?
probably going to be decided in about 3 to 4 months, and then it'll take like another year before it probably be implemented.
So another fiscal year, like not this upcoming budget surprise if there's a change in cost, but
So we don't have to, that wouldn't affect us.
it would be assessed fees for you in the future.
Right.
Okay.
Right. The bigger issue would be staff training. So the only time I've ever gone over payroll is the last time we did this. And that was because staff was training and it increased the payroll. And so we ended up going over payroll. So I just have to be more aware of that for this next time when we're doing it. Yeah. Let's see. The next all staff meeting will take place on December 9th at 10. We decided to just do like a little holiday get together, just a meeting, a week sweater, potluck kind of thing. So it's just going to be us doing it. But yeah, it's going to take place on the 9th, and we'll open at 1 like we usually do. I attended town meeting on October 28th. We were closed on the 13th for Indigenous Day. And special town meeting closed at 5. Friends book sale will took place on 10/17 to 10/19. And Jeff attended NELA, and I attached his Google Doc link where he took all his notes that he shared with the staff. You guys could see it.
Did you, because I know that we are happy to help pay for things for professional development. Is that something that you did under our budget?
Yeah.
Great. And then, of the notes that he took, is he gonna plan to kind of implement, like, does he have kind of a plan, or will he have a plan to kind of implement some of those?
Yeah, he's talked with me about some stuff that he wants to do, but we haven't, said anything in stone yet.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, I really appreciate him sharing what he was learning too.
Yeah, I know right now he's, if you notice, all the yearbooks are missing from the history room. It's because he got a special grant so that they could get digitized. So they left today to be digitized. Yeah. Yep. Rest is just stats and finish that we're doing well. We're pretty much where we should be. Any questions?
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, old business, we will skip over Barbara Friedman, because we did that already. Charter committee updates.
Yes,
What's
that's
up,
me.
Tim? Yeah.
All right, so, let's see, so the charter committee has been formed and they've been meeting for months now. They're charged with reviewing our town government structure and making some recommendations to the select board about whether we need updates and how to codify it into a charter, which we don't currently have. So we attended, or library was invited to attend a discussion with them on September 29th, and a number of us in this room were able to join. So myself and David and Sarah and Kimberly and Sam were all there for that initial discussion where they they asked us to give them background. Basically, they're on a fact-finding mission right now and they have a lot to learn about. And so they wanted to hear our perspectives about whether our board should be elected or appointed and who should have hiring authority for the library director. So we came to that meeting armed with everything that all of us had downloaded from our brains, which we then cleaned up and sent to them after the fact so that they could have a much more summarized version versus the brain dump version. And then Sarah and I attended the open forum on October 14th, where they were just presenting to the town for the first time what their charge is and what they've learned in their timeline, essentially. And I did just finish listening to their Monday meeting, so the November 11th meeting tonight. So the replay. This Monday they met, and what unfortunately is not available online is that they got draft language, a charter, to start reviewing. So what they did discuss during that meeting was which boards that they kind of put boards into elected or appointed or a hybrid model of some elected, some appointed. And at this point, library trustee board is landing in the elected side of things to remain elected. And it does not seem that they have any desire to change that. It's not a discussion. It seems to be pretty universally approved across that board. They were starting to review some language related to the hiring authority piece. But unfortunately, because we don't see what they're reading, it was unclear when I watched the replay what boards were, or who was being appointed by who was not clear based on, they have it in front of them. We just can't see it. And their discussion didn't give me enough detail to know where the library board kind of stood in that. So that's something we should keep an eye on and just check in with AC members. But my indication from prior meetings is that they don't really feel like changing our appointment, but that doesn't mean that we could. They're definitely looking at boards to say that the boards will seek and hire and do the hiring piece, and then the director or the TA or TM, town manager, will do the final sign off. So again, I think that's a piece that if we ever see what the draft language is, it'll be interesting to see what they've started to put into writing. But that is not visible to us at the moment.
It's sort of how it works now with the rest of the staff, where I make the decision, but Jim has to sign off on it. So I assume it would be something similar where, I don't know.
Yeah, they were really focused on, in the conversation piece, the fire chief, the police chief, light and water director, and their group. Like and then some of them would sometimes throw library into it. And so I was like, I don't know exactly what is on paper. So I really wish I could have seen it just so I could understand the conversation better. But we'll just keep our ears down, looking at any information, answering any questions that they have. It sounds like their timeline is extending to be presenting to town meeting, not this spring, which was the original timeline, but next fall. So 9 months from now, 10 months from now is their goal. And they're just setting recommendations to the select board. The select board actually has to do the hard work to finalize and then submit it to the town meeting, and then goes to the legislature to approve. So, Sam, I don't know if you've heard anything internally.
Katrina, thank you for keeping track of all that. I don't feel like we keep our members had a piece of it. Any questions about that?
What's the name, when we said the charter committee?
Littleton Charter Committee, I want to be precise.
I do.
Right.
They do have some very interesting discussions. Like, they have some very engaged people on that committee and some really interesting, varied backgrounds. So it's fascinating to listen to them.
It's big volunteer
Appreciate it.
session for that stay on.
It is intense. Like, they're meeting at least twice a month.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, they're definitely doing work behind the scenes that we aren't seeing, because they refer to work or discussions or meeting with other boards that they're not bringing to meetings. So it's not a job for the lighthearted, for sure. I appreciate their effort.
Yeah. Right, holiday closing updates?
Yeah, so at a previous meeting, you voted to close the Wednesday before Thanksgiving and left it up to whether or not the town. So at the last select board meeting, they voted to close the day after Thanksgiving, so we'll be closing too. They couldn't make a decision about the day after Christmas, so I believe they put it on the agenda to discuss it at their meeting on Monday. But yeah, I just want to let you know that we'll be closed the day after Thanksgiving.
Did you need us to December 9th? Did you need us to make a motion about that, about opening at 1 on December?
No, we did that a long time ago.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Ray Ronde Scholarship Committee. So David, you're new from May, right? Okay. So we probably were in the middle of this to some extent.
I
Yeah.
heard the report.
Yes, that's right. So every year we give up to 2 scholarships to high school juniors or seniors to come and they volunteer in the library for, I should have looked this up before this meeting, but a certain number of hours per summer.
150.
Okay, 150 hours. And they help out primarily with the summer reading programs. And we will need to, I think, probably vote to do that again, but so that's kind of, we're opening this conversation. And also last year we had a subcommittee that was responsible for kind of making sure that all of the schools in our area knew about the scholarship. And also so getting the information out to them and also reviewing whatever submissions we got. And so last year it was you and me and Chris. I am happy to be on it again. I don't know who else is interested.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Chris isn't here to ask, is anyone else interested in being on the scholarship committee? I know we're all on other subcommittees, but. Okay,
I could do it.
okay.
If you-
Do you want to?
Unless she wants to do it again, I don't want to.
I can't speak for Chris, but my guess is no.
Yeah,
Yes.
my guess is all she might not. Yes. So great.
I
Yeah,
want to,
awesome. Good. So I think today, I don't remember the order of this. Do we say we will offer the scholarship for amount of money and to kids, or is that something we do later, or do we just?
We have to
appoint them?
establish the subcommittee.
Establish the subcommittee, great, okay.
The subcommittee can decide the framework they want to
Correct, thank you. I did not look this up.
propose to the rest of us.
Yeah, okay, all right. So, Stephanie, could you please? I think it would.
Make a motion to establish the subcommittee for the Ray Grande Scholarship with Kimberly Harriman, Stephanie Fishcraft, and David Spanigal. I can write it. David Spanigal.
Okay, great.
I'm second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. So thank you for that. I will, I do have a whole spreadsheet that gives the order of things that we do and what we do. So when I get back to doing that, I'll be in touch and we'll schedule a meeting, but it doesn't have to be till late December, January. It's really gonna happen. This is early, but I just wanted to get.
When I'm sending these to Chris tonight anyway, should I put a note that said, like, you're very welcome to be on?
If you have four, though, we have a quorum.
Yes,
No,
Although it's official subcommittee, so I guess you should be posting meetings anyway.
we do post meetings. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you.
Yeah.
No, our bigger thing was, right, when we were actually interviewing the students.
We had
that
executive functioning.
Yes, I know.
Executive session, you can tell where my brain is. For kids. Yeah. All right, great. I'm excited about that. Me too. Great. Children's room, Ben.
Yes, so Jennifer has made a request that we purchase a new browser bin. I said to quote.
Mobile.
Yeah, so we contacted the same company we used to buy pretty much all the furniture in this building, and she wants one that mirrors another bin that we already have. So I told her to reach out to them, and they gave us a quote for $3,406.28 for a new picture book bin. So
Is that all in money wise?
yes, it covers everything, delivery, everything. I think they come pre-assembled anyway, so $3,406.28. Yes.
Any discussion? Do we have money in trust to cover it? Just so you know. Do we have one?
We don't ask for other quotes.
No, only if it's over 10,000.
So I don't know what it compares to, but she deserves whatever.
I like that it matches the thing I already have.
Yeah.
that's great.
Do you want to make a motion?
All right, so I move to transfer. Do you want the exact number or do you want a rounded number?
The exact number is fine.
I move to transfer $3,406.28 from 311 George and Rose Wood Fund to MMDT for the purchase of the mobile picture book browser bin for the children's room.
I second.
All in favor? Do you need between this on that specific thing?
I will send it
I
to
have
you.
the amount of George and Rosewood if you.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Okay, collection audit. So one of my goals was to do a collection audit report. So to do that,
Okay, good.
okay. So in order to do that, I basically did several reports in our software to gather information about it. And I also put out a survey asking our patrons what they thought about the collection. I put it out on our website. It was on the TVs here, it was on several tables. It was there was a QR code and printouts over at the senior center at town hall. They put it in the town's newsletter. I think that's everything. So I tried to get it as far as I could. So what we learned is that total physical holdings in the library are 86,206. Adults is 49,000, teen is 5,000, and children's are 32,000. Circulation for the past year was 181,529
For physical books.
for physical books. Yeah. We do the electronic collection is a little harder to tell because we don't specifically own it. And it's also constantly changing.
As long as it's consistent font.
Yeah. So basically, how granular do you guys want me to get in this? It's so basically what I learned is that I tried to examine the collection for how diverse it is. What I learned is about 1,200 items cover LGBTQ topics. Approximately 40,000 are authored by women or produced by women, meaning the DVDs produced by women, music produced, that sort of thing. Roughly 100 items were from Indigenous authors. So when I was discussing this, when I put it out in a survey for the patrons, they were very satisfied or satisfied with the collection. I think there was only one person that was very dissatisfied. Out of 100
I was gonna say how many
140, I think, is what I ended up altogether. And then most people learn about this collection through the catalog or through all the library displays. Staff recommendations is a big one too. Most items checked out are print books. Next is ebooks, and then DVDs, magazines, library of things. That kind of works out with what I see in the Eris. It's pretty terrible. What could we do to make the library more enjoyable? So a lot of people said they wanted more bestsellers. So I'm going to, usually I buy at least 2 bestsellers. Usually one is for the collection, and then one is a hot title. I don't know if you noticed. So hot titles are first come, first serve. So what I think I'm going to do is buy more copies that are hot titles and more copies that are holdable. So the thing is, our policy with MVLC is that for every hot title we buy, we also have to buy one for the collection. We're not allowed to import them, basically. So, so I'm definitely going to look into, when I buy adult titles, looking at bestsellers, more bestsellers, so that they're at least more available for patrons. When it comes to ebooks, I can buy ebooks, but I can't guarantee that the ebooks that I purchase go directly to our patrons like I can with the books that we buy. Every book that we buy, our patrons get first dibs, but with ebooks, it doesn't work that way. People also ask that we update nonfiction. I did ask about other languages. I sort of got the whole gamut. I got from people saying no. Grandparents didn't have to learn. Maybe. Yeah. I got Spanish, French, and then we have a big Indian population, so I got Indian languages. So I'm going to look into doing that. The problem is it's cataloging them. It's not buying them so much. It's how we catalog them, because you need a cataloger that speaks that language. So MVLC can help with that. They can reach out. Usually there's someone in the staff somewhere at some library that speaks that language. And so they can at least help translate, but it's tough. So I'll especially with languages that are like Indian languages, Spanish and French would help be easy. Chinese would be easy, but other languages would be a little tougher.
Like some of our games, everything, where that book would be something someone else's library that's already done it. Is that?
Yeah.
World Cap.
World. Yeah.
I just mean, but like,
Titles that are.
Yeah, like
in brackets
you wouldn't have to
with
redo everything, right? That someone else has already cataloged that someplace, and that you could just copy that.
It's a GitHub for library catalogs.
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends. Because I know when I think Andover tried to increase their Chinese collection, so MVLC had to get a translator.
But then we might not have to, because North Andover.
Right.
Did it, right.
Right. But I didn't get a lot of requests for Chinese.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Yeah. So basically, moving forward, I'm definitely going to be expanding. Patrons did say they liked the LGBTQ books that we did have. They appreciated them, so I'll look to increasing that. People of color creators, that's a little tougher because I do buy them, but I find they don't circulate as much. But if people want them, I can add them. Like I said, buying more bestsellers, that definitely seemed to be something people wanted more of. I've tried to offer more that's being in Massachusetts, it's a little easier to get a more liberal side of things sometimes for the collection. But there's definitely people who want the more conservative side. So trying to add, like I bought an Eric Trope book the other day. And
You have to
that
balance
holds.
it, right?
Right, you have to balance it.
the whole point.
Uh,
Everyone should have something in their library they hate.
Right.
So, I agree.
Right, but
Slogan, right?
Everyone, there should be something in every library. We agree.
But yeah, so overall, I found that I think comparatively, we're doing pretty well. We're representing as many people as we can, and moving on, just trying to figure out. I think I'm gonna maybe with this strategic plan find out what languages we should actually focus on because
That's a good.
yeah, it's not just the catalog part; it's finding the space for it.
You'd have a whole new section.
Right, we have to have a section for other languages.
And then what books would you even pick?
Right,
How would you decide
Right.
what that selection would be?
Yeah, that would be part of talking to MVLC
Yeah.
about what they have.
Well, and I wonder if we could find pockets of interested community members who might be able to help guide.
Yeah, I had a patron once who talked to me a long time ago who wanted to donate books. She had books in an Indian language, I can't remember which one, but she wanted to donate them, and I was like, sure, but she had to like even translate the titles for us first because they were so it's tough. But yeah, so definitely I think the collection's doing well. I think circulation wise we're doing well, but we could do better in certain areas like DEI and stuff like that.
So I have a question about that. Of the 100, how much of those are in Megan's room?
Yeah.
Oh, the majority.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, since I took over buying the adult books,
Yeah.
I've definitely increased them, but the majority are in Megan's room.
She's doing great.
Yes, yeah,
So do you do the adult collection?
yeah, I do the adult collection.
So if I wanted to donate a title, I would reach out to you?
Yes. Yes.
How close to capacity are the book storage spaces? Like you talked about, you need to think about space that you added a whole new.
Yeah, so we were avoiding using the bottom and top shelves. We've started using the bottom shelves. Yeah. We're getting close. We do weeding every 6 months or so. We go back like 2 or 3 years to see what hasn't gone out.
Is that satisfying?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Like,
Sometimes it's annoying because I'll see something that I bought and I'm like, this never went out. But yeah.
Wait till my book doesn't. Like, yeah. Give it back to me.
Well, there are definitely titles that go to the book sale, like
Oh, yeah.
in the Friends, and I'm like,
Yeah, those are the best sellers that I buy like 5 copies of because everybody wanted it, and then the holds go away.
Yeah.
And now we have 5 copies of this book that we really only need one. So that's
everyone's read it already.
yeah, everybody's read it already. So that's the book those are the books we put in the book sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are surprised because they'll find like a bestseller in the book sale room and they're like, I feel bad paying only $2 for this when I have to pay $20 in Barnes and Noble. But yeah.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So any questions?
and in terms of this, going back to the density of these DEI varied creators, all the people.
Mhm.
So if most of them are in the YA room,
Mhm.
and you're working on increasing adult, how about the children's room?
Yes. I know Jen has definitely been working on increasing, and even Diane had
I
some
was gonna
books.
say Diane did some effort
Yeah,
there too.
Diane, yeah, her views were a little different, but she definitely collected.
There were definitely more and more over time.
Yeah.
My kids were reading for a bit.
Yeah. And I know I usually look at the books that come in every day that Jennifer orders, and she's definitely buying more diverse books.
Excellent. I just want to make sure the effort is being consistent across all departments. That's all.
Any other thoughts, questions?
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Very curious.
Okay, does anyone have any? Yes.
I would like to give an update. David and I went to the MLTA meeting.
Oh, yes,
Conference.
please. Yeah, tell us about that. Yeah.
So it was at the Shrewsbury Library again, and the theme this year was advocacy, especially in the legislature. So the things I noted were they talked about identifying grant funds They also strongly suggested hosting a legislative breakfast. There is one in Framingham on November 19th. I have this one.
Oh, man.
No,
19th,
you're right.
Thursday.
I wrote tonight.
Oh, I already wrote beautiful.
And then there's one in Lancaster in December, maybe that's.
December 12th.
December 12th. There's one in Lancaster. They
I'm
talked,
gonna go.
yes.
Gotta go.
They talked
That's
about,
good. The one I've been to too. They're great. Yeah, I always learn something.
they were encouraging all trustees to host one. So,
We did it a while ago.
okay.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
did I hear?
like 3 or 4 years ago.
It was like the beginning of this library.
It was like, yeah, right after they wanted to come because we just built the library.
They said a surprising thing though. They said that the season for legislative breakfasts has slid forward, like toward now. Like it used to always be January, February, because of the cycle of the legislature coming and starting business or whatever. They said now those legislators need to be kind of secured, locked in to like, so they should be in November and December if possible. And that's why these other libraries have already scheduled ones coming up. So I thought that's an interesting form.
They recommended that, trustees review the collection development policy, which we had that we do, but that was. They talked about the ebook bill, which allows libraries to purchase ebooks instead of leasing them because there's a high cost of limited borrowing. So that's legislation that's in the works. And then the freedom to read bill, which protects intellectual freedom in public schools and school libraries.
The hearing was actually
Today, and I think we all got an email about it.
Right. So,
Passing?
yeah. So they called it the right to read, so that's why I was confused, but.
Gotcha.
Passed.
So they just emailed out that the Massachusetts Senate just voted to pass right to read legislation. Thank you for spearheading effort and working closely with Massachusetts Library Association.
What's new? It's new in Shrewsbury.
Massachusetts Library Trustees Association.
And then they just encouraged trustees to work with the director to help form the budget. And also they suggested that trustees meet with the TA and the select board yearly just to keep everyone abreast of what is happening in your library.
They suggested inviting people to a trustee meeting every once in a while. Other town officials just come sort of see the work as the library trustees. With some frequency, just to
Just come
keep them
share.
engaged, aware.
I know in the past, and maybe things have changed, but the select board was always open to having like stuff, an agenda item to update. Just here's what we're doing with the library. Just wanted to let you know. I don't think we've taken them up on that outside of budget season, but so that is an opportunity.
Maybe we could think about doing that quarterly and just one of us signs up and does it even quarterly.
Yeah, I don't know if, I mean, there's the balance between connecting with them and taking too much time for an update.
Well, maybe, yeah.
So even if we just start annually, just check.
Yeah,
in.
maybe.
So that's one. But then we'd have to develop our story of what we want to present. Or want Sam to put.
Did Anthony use a shirt? Because I used to give him a report.
You used to give him all of your, do you still sending your director's reports to the TA?
No, so we have department head meetings every couple of weeks,
Mhm.
basically. And so we all talk about everything that's going on, all the department heads.
I mean, it might be, after we award the Ray Grande scholarship, maybe that's a good time to meet, so we can mention that, and then anything else that we want to share, but maybe if we do it annually, it might be nice to do it
In the
around,
spring ahead of summer reading and all this.
and just say, oh, we awarded, the scholarship.
I'll make a note.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Ahead of the election, I think. When do we award the scholarship?
It's right in the spring.
Yeah, I think we
We're
tried to do it
in
earlier.
April,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I think we tried to do it a little earlier, but but it was definitely,
We might just want to relook at our calendar of things and just figure out what's the better time. Because if we think about it, Sam's in front of them for the financial budget and any other time they tell you to go. But
The other thing, especially if you do host a legislative breakfast, but even if you don't, they said, have your staff on the lookout to collect a patron story. Have a patron who can speak about what the library means to them. That would be another opportunity to communicate to our other town officials. We could bring a patron and show and tell. This is what the library needs.
Especially when it's not connected to any of the trustees or any of their friends, right? Like something, yeah.
Right. So.
or an ask for money.
Another,
Right.
it's like another, where's the feel good story that you can supply to people's awareness?
I appreciate that they talked about both what's within your town. It sounded, from what I heard about it, that it was gonna be more external, like this, so that this is Massachusetts Senate and House, but there's also like what you can do within your own community.
Yeah.
Thank you for going to.
I mean, and the other thing to tie in there is if we are under the way for like the strategic plan and the focus groups and everything, so just that might be a time for us to go peer, just to say, hey, we're doing this and we'd love to hear your voice.
Yeah.
Might come out of the focus groups too somehow, like maybe somebody could identify them.
Yeah, on the way out.
When
On
we
the other
get a
end of it.
report, we could also get invited to present.
Well, even if we don't present it, we should be sharing it, right? Like, this is what we've come up with, a strategic plan. It should definitely go to the TA. It should be on the select board's agenda, like
Yeah.
radar.
Yeah.
Especially if there's anything that in the end, we're gonna need to get finances for. We're not gonna build another building, so that's not fair.
But we get excited about applying for some grants or some other thing. And
Yeah.
Showcase that we have.
Definitely. I have one other item.
Okay, great.
I just took my Girl Scouts to Savannah, which is not the
Georgia.
item, Georgia. And I was in a really cool bookstore there because that's what they wanted to do. So we went to the bookstore and I found some holiday cards and bought enough for the staff, I believe.
That's 17.
I think so. So I was wondering if we wanted to get our holiday card train up and going earlier this year.
That seems like a good plan. Yes.
Sam, would you mind sending me the list of employees?
You go to our website, it's
It's all listed there.
on the library stuff.
It's been updated.
Yes.
What about tomorrow?
Well, Cameron,
Sorted.
you and Cameron.
Okay.
Wow.
Cool. So we'll put them together. I'll put them in my mailbox. You guys can start filling them in. And I don't know if we want them ahead of the staff meeting.
Which is December 9th. That
Yeah.
feels doable.
It's ahead of our next meeting. So I guess we'll see how far we are if we've gotten everyone. If not, we'll do it the week after, but we'll finish them at the next track. Just if they're not done.
Yeah, just keep us in the loop when you put them ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's your box?
You have a box.
Box.
Where's my box?
Where's your mailbox? It's in the staff area.
There's never any mail. Yeah.
Good.
I get the like trust fund thing once a year, like the report.
Whenever
I'll write you all.
whenever we have this meeting, that's when I go and check them. No, not
I bet your name tag's in there too, for the legislative breakfast.
I don't know where my document name tag's gonna check. What?
I don't know if I got you a name tag.
Did you know that? No wonder you don't know where your box is.
I don't know where my box is.
That's why you go to your
I don't even
box.
know who I am. They all have handwritten.
Yeah,
For the legislature.
Fix that. Sam.
Yeah. I'll
Address
get
that.
you.
You want to, because I don't know what yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. I did wear the pullover,
Oh, good. So you do, yeah.
trustee association.
That reminded me to wear mine tonight, and next time I know to ask, like, I check out the size, because mine's really big.
That's good.
No?
Cozy.
Yeah, it does.
All right, any trustee updates? I've been underwater, so I have nothing.
I've been going to charter. meetings,
Yeah.
but you already know that.
I was gonna report the thing.
Sarah's going.
That was just me.
You had a shared agenda item. All right.
All right, next meeting is December 11th.
Return.
Yes, I'm just saying, I'm just saying when the next meeting is. The
Sorry.
next meeting is December 11th at 7 p.m. now.
I love to return.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.